Hello, what is up everyone? Welcome to the channel. My name is Matt and today we're going to be talking about another piece of gear. We are going to be talking about the Commlite speed booster and focal reducer for EF lenses to micro four thirds mount cameras. So before I continue, because I did this in the last intro, I forgot to mention this. Merry Christmas to everyone, happy holidays, all that good stuff. I'm in the festive wear right now. I have my ugly Christmas sweater with my Spider-Man, Captain America, Iron Man, and Hulk. It's not the full Avengers, but it's pretty close. And then they got little snowflakes and things on there. I like this sweater. It's nice. It's comfy. It's not cold outside today, but it's still a nice little sweater to have from time to time. So I purchased this adapter a couple months ago. I had been looking to find a way to adapt my Sigma 18-35 f1.8 art lens, which is a Canon mount, to my Olympus cameras. I had already had the lens. It was just kind of sitting around and really not doing anything for me, because I couldn't really bear to sell it. I just love the lens way too much. I also had a Sigma 10-20 f3.5, which I sold pretty quickly, but I just could not get rid of the 18-35. I just couldn't do it. It's just too good of a lens to get rid of. Focal length is nice, aperture value is great. I think it has one of the best focusing manual focusing rings out there. Super smooth, very accurate, just love it. You've heard a lot about this lens. So I didn't want to sell it. I was actually in the process of selling the lens when I actually bought this adapter. I was kind of losing hope, and I didn't really want to go into that Metabones range of like $700, $650, because I was actually selling this lens for around $550 to $600 because it is used, very lightly used. I actually only probably used it for 2 months before I switched to my micro four thirds system, and then this really couldn't be used anymore. So it was pretty much a brand new lens. I figured $600 was a good price, but then I saw this. I saw the Commlite for $200 for an adapter, and I was like, that's crazy. How was that even possible? So I watched reviews, I read reviews, I talked to some people, and I kind of just said, you know what, $200, that's not a bad gamble, and I really just want this lens to be in my kit again and start working with it once again. So I bought the adapter, had it for a few months now, and kind of hear my thoughts on it. So to start off with the build quality, it's actually very rugged, very strong for $200. I don't think it's weather sealed at all. I took it out in the rain once and I kind of got nervous with it because there is a bit of a gap. I'll put the lens on here just so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So I was kind of concerned with water getting in between the lens and the adapter. It's not a huge gap, but there is a small little gap between the adapter. Come on now, you can do it. There it goes. So there's a small little gap kind of like right here between the lens and the adapter. But overall, the construction on this lens, on this adapter is really good. From what I've seen from other adapters. Metal construction, really solid. It's not flimsy at all. The only thing that I've run into physically, mechanical wise, not really even mechanical, but just run into with an issue is the little tripod mount thing here on the bottom. The Allen keys or the Allen screws seem to get loose from time to time, but I kind of just wrench them down. It's really not even an issue. I really tightened them down last time and it's fine. When they came out of the box, they were a little bit loose. I didn't know that. If I'd known that beforehand, I kind of just would have tightened them down. But other than that, everything's been really good. So the whole front part and the back are all made out of metal. You can see the glass element in there as well. And it's actually just, I'm not a glass expert, but it looks nice to me. So here in the front of the adapter, we have a nice brass with kind of like a chrome finish there for the mounting point. And then you can see there's a little micro USB port, because you can actually do firmware updates on this adapter. So if there's a firmware update from Sigma for this lens, or if there's a firmware update from Olympus for their cameras, I can update it according to either one. and then making sure that this is up to date on everything. And then at the bottom, there's actually brass contacts there, and then along the back there's another set of flat brass contacts. I will say though that the anodizing on the three kind of locking points kind of have worn off. The locks themselves are totally fine, but just kind of like the anodizing and the paint on them is kind of just wearing off, which for 200 bucks, I'm not too bummed with. I don't really care about that stuff. So overall, I would say the construction on this adapter is actually really nice for $200. If you get like a $200 lens, it's a plastic pile of glass, like pretty much that's it. It's glass and plastic. So it was kind of nice to see that for $200, you can get actually a nice solid chunk of metal with a good optics in it, and the ability to update it via firmware if need be. So something that I kind of noticed, especially with the Sigma, is that when you're shooting lenses, when you're shooting with this adapter and using lenses and they're wide open, so like this one, because it is a speed booster and focal reducer, and this is the 0.71, so it's actually designed for full frame lenses. So when you put a crop lens on there, not only does it widen your aperture or widen your focal lengths again, so it actually gives you another stop of light. So like I said, this is a 1.8, but when I have it on the adapter and then put it on the body, it's actually a 1.3. So it's actually it's an extra stop. But what I did notice is when shooting video and sometimes photo too, the outside of the image that's not in focus is insanely soft, like someone rubbed Vaseline on the edges. Now, I don't know if that's something to do with this lens. I don't know if it's something to do with the adapter. It is a little bit of an annoyance with me. I'll show some footage of it right now and kind of some examples of when that happens. Hopefully I haven't deleted them off my hard drive, but that's kind of what it looks like. And it does kind of take away from the overall image quality that you can get from this lens and from the camera that you're using. I shoot a lot of my stuff in 4K, so being able to see that softness just kind of amplifies it a little bit more. I don't know if it's on the part of this. Like I said, I haven't really tried other adapters yet to see if it's a similar kind of quality thing. Other than that, everything has been really, really good. I used this for, I used these as a pairing. This has actually produced, this pairing has produced really good image quality. I used it for a workshop, I used it for several shots, and it did a fantastic job. I think it actually did a little bit better than the Olympus lenses. It wasn't as heavy on contrast. The colors out of this were fantastic. You know, everything just looked really, really good, and I didn't have too many issues. It was only kind of until recently that I've started to notice that kind of softening around the edges, which makes me wonder if this just needs a firmware update, or if it's something to do with the lens, or if it's something to do with the, it could be a million different things. So I can't really say definitively if the softness is an issue of the adapter, or if it's just an issue of the lens or the camera or whatever. So yeah, those are kind of like the only issues that I've had with it. Overall, this has actually been just a really nice thing to have in my kit. It's given me the ability to use this lens again pretty much proficiently, which is fantastic. I've been super happy with it. So if you are considering buying the Commlite, or you're trying to figure out if you should buy the Commlite or the Metabones, I think there's a Viltrox one too, I can say that this is a good adapter. It's not perfect, but it's good. It gets the job done. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope this was informative. Thank you for watching. If you did, make sure to leave a comment if you have any questions about anything that I talked about, the lens, the adapter, whatever it might be. Hit that like button because that makes me smile. And if you like the other content that you watch from me from time to time, make sure to hit that subscribe button because that makes me smile as well. So I'll see you next time. Have a great Christmas, have a good Hanukkah, holidays, whatever it might be, and I'll see you all in the new year more than likely. All right, bye.